Sonido? Hello, everybody. It's really a pleasure to meet you all this week. Um, well, it's I have only 40 minutes. I think I could have 2 days, but so it will maybe go as speedy as a storm. I'm going through different stories of landscape in the 19th century, and going more and more about the story, the perception of sound, the way to compose the environment with the environmental sounds, and going deeply and deeply on my practice of making a sound piece about nature or transformation, implicating instruments, electronics, field recording, sound design. I've been to the electroacoustic classes in France, Conservatory of Pantin, with teacher Christine Groot, that worked as a pedagogy in IRCAM, and a collaborator of Beatrice Ferrara, who works for the GARM. I've been, I have several profiles. I'm into doing music, guitarist, synthesizer player. I'm into improvisation. I record a lot, always new. I don't really make tracks, but electroacoustic made me really think about the narrative, the way to construct a meaning through sound. And so I made several pieces that I diffused by acousmonium, and I will perform tonight some of them. In general, as well, being crazy and improvising on field recording with guitar and processed by computers that I process in real time. I'm sequencing synthesizer, that can I make discourse with birds singing. We will listen to that. And it's really the way that I improvise with drummer, with other electronic musician. For me, it's natural to improvise with the environment. And I got a fascination, for exploration, going to the top of a mountain, to go out directly when there is a storm going on. Remember my grandmother really crying because there was thunders outside in Sweden, and the only thing stupid to do was to take my camera and go on filming this. But that's how you get the incredible images. That's how you get incredible sounds. It's through going up, explore, going to the coast, see what's beyond, have the time to feel the sound. So it's really linked with the exploration, with photography of landscape. I've been living for a year here now in Jalapa, in Veracruz. I've been working on the birds record. I've been doing sound diffusion, multi-channel sound diffusion. I've been doing caminata sonora in Rico with people who don't know, really, we are not used to really listen to the environment. It was really great to explore each person's perception. I would like to work with the Cuyahuitztlan temple that is close to the Villa Rica where Hernan Cortés arrived. There is a kind of stratus of stories in this place. It's a kind of ruin in the age of a colline, of a hill in front of the sea, and there is something going on there. There is really much spirit, much environment. It's really interesting. As well collaborating here with Mexican artists, Juan Jose Rivas, a noise musician and organizer, but I can as well get roots in my blues origin. I began music with blues, and I feel that the son jarocho and people in Veracruz are very much into this kind of trance and yeah, like a vibration, a beat going on with the food. I'm as well inviting French musicians to come here. Right now I'm on tour with a saxophonist player, and so I'm getting gigs, working in collaborator with a drummer. Well, that was me. So about the landscape, it's not very easy. So this is an image of Veracruz. I see the landscape as a composition already. There is something in front, there's something that lies beyond. There is different stratus of perspective, and it's a spatial, it's a space that us human define with a frame, and I think that the sound makes a representation of landscape bigger than visual and maybe more accurate. Landscape is the collaboration between two elements. It's sky. It's a confrontation. I mean, it's the sky with the earth, the sky with the sea with the earth, and this confrontation, this association, make it easy to find out scenarios about sound pieces, to make kind of a traveling that I draw parallel with my exploration on the coast, and to this exploration I like to make a parallel in my travel. So the constitution of an image is an horizon, is relief, it's different stratus. There is what's going on beyond the frame. There is a variation of intensity of the light, of the color. If you see the forest, there are forests from different trees, from different colors, from different heights. And for me, it can be like a partiture, a partition that you can, you can follow with your voice, you can follow with your instrument in terms of volume, in terms of changing of notes, of intensity. And a landscape as well can be, as I said, a partition, as you see there. It's lines. It looks like sine waves. It looks like oscillations, and this could be like a collective partition for playing together. One flutist playing the lines of crest of the mountain. One is doing the water in front with synthesizer oscillations. The other is playing the guitar with the square, and following the heights, another instrument that is more doing ambient and stratus that goes like lanes, like that, like hills. So landscape for me is really a possibility of in changing between visual and sounds. Um, well, where does this come from, this fascination? Um, well, I got a bit of problem with. Well, the origins of man attraction. Um, um, well, we can go back to the cavern, prehistoric time, where cavern was really reverberating the sounds, any sounds, the wind, the animal, the voice. Um, well, it had, I guess, an influence on the creation of music, of dialoguing. Um, our link with the space is about territories, it's about settlement. We can talk about Huaca in Peru, where um, each ethnical group and each family or line of royalty of family or had well uh, they got their forces from a place, from a mountain, from something weird in the relief, something weird in the mountain, and they got this like very attached with the telluric power. Um, when we talked about sound, um, there is, as well as Murray Schaeffer says about the first soundscape, it was the imagination and the fear of the end of the world, with the like the imagination of the prophets, signaled by mighty Dean, more ferocious and the loudest sound they could imagine. And as well in wars, man was always trying to destroy their enemies with terrible noise. The Aztec fought against the conquistadors with an army of drums, of horn, of loud voices. And this power of sound has always followed us, as well as a sacred noise. That thunder, volcanic eruption, storms were always representing something divine, something stronger than us, that has been the church is trying to replace it with bells and pipe organs to have something with the resonance of the church. But I think we have still this in us, this fascination and this, fascination for noise, for the noise of something bigger than us. So I come directly about the sublimity, and sublimity is written by Burke and Kant, to go very quickly, but it's it's our inability to fully comprehend the most powerful forces of the world of experience. And the sublimity is something that passes through fear, through something that where you feel insecure, but it's a kind of pleasure when it's not, the danger is not too close. Um, it's like hearing a big sound, but not, well, feeling any pain. It's uh, it provokes a feelings of reverence, of fear, and pleasure all at once. Uh, so it influences sublimity, philosophy, influenced painters, uh, well, from Turner to John Martin, um, where it's vast landscapes of catastrophes, um, like here, um, and all this, well, shows movements of, well, clouds and the weather and the it looks the humans look small and and there's something that is quite dark. It's nature that is really amplified. Um, there is a dream of destruction and creation, um, and I guess that leads us to our fascination for like apocalypse films, horror movies. There's something we are afraid of, but I guess nowadays everything seems like a film. Um, and well, as I forgot to say, Earth get fragmented, ground get drier, water flood devastate habitation, winds kill people in north of Europe, glaciers are melting, cyclones alert are more and more often in the Mexican Gulf, and the number of insects decrease. And the links with this picture is that it's something that is out of control for us. It's something bigger. And I think there is a link with this feeling of romanticism that it's something difficult, it's something big. It as well something fascinating. And what is fascinating as well is like the sounds that it can express. And for me, the expression of sounds, um, it's like a 3D thing. It's like a rock. It's a combination of different things in the landscape. The fog that it makes disappear, the relief, the mountains. The storm is as well a partition. It's low pressure air and high pressure air that we can, well, compare with sound. And well, um, what is important for me is like to, like this first picture that is a Swiss painting from 1890. It's the representation of the mountain with this fragmentation, with this solid pieces, fragments. And for me, it's a recall of what we are living now. Is that the melting of glacier? It's the stone going down. It's as well a sliding of ground, And for me, it has been, well, compositions of sounds to, well, have the influence of the humidity of the water on the stone, the movement of the stone, a stone that moves. So let's listen to a few of them. Well, we listen first and then more sound, please, for the computer. Description of matters. I've made a list of sound morphology that we can associate with images. Well, about the Earth, it's about friction, it's about shock waves, it's about tremor. It's I made a kind of well. Solfège des objets sonores, but for the elements. You can't see much here, but it's about the basic elements, and I try to associate like the image of mythology that we talked before. The observation of the matters through photography. So, for example, for waves, it's about, well, we can't read really anything here, but it's about well, a rhythm of the sea. It's about the calmness, or if it's very agitated, the images of storm, of cyclones upon it. I made a section about the field recordings that is possible. So there is a distance of recording of the sea. And there is a way to recreate like Foley's sounds that sounds like the sea, but it's something that is done with materials, with sand, with water, with metal, like if you use metal for doing thunders. And the typology is about the thema of the sound, like a wave is fluid. It gets as well a rhythmicity. It gets, we can imagine that the top of a wave has something that is the amount of water that is falling. While you are recreating this with sounds, you're gonna use different different materials to precise this sound. Like I've been recording people skiing. That when they do a turn, there is this, and I mix it with the sound of a wave to make an accentuation on the sea. There is the effects that can goes well with the elements that put a space, that put a movement, and there is a choice of instruments that I can associate, and the gesture of the instrument that I can use. For example, the wave is a kind of a guitar that is having a tremolo or playing it with a bow. So for each element, I have a correspondency that I've tried on my instruments. This is a film I've been working on. I'm quite new to this presentation thing. Okay. So the glacier getting gray, and so my mission was to retranscript, to represent this change in the film where everything is beautiful, to explore, to go on the top with a lot of snow, and it's a beautiful view. But when you look down, you see that everything is melting, everything is gray. The valley is green. There is no snow. It's a way to explain that well, with our tourism and with climate change and industry, even the people of Orizaba have just 10, 20 years to still have his eternal snow. And so it's, yeah, people are dying now in the Mont Blanc because everything is falling down, and it's getting very gray, and well, the sound participate to show this dislocation, the crumbling, the flooding, the snows that get into water and that cause incredible flooding, like in the Pyrenees 10 years ago, where the valley was overflooded because it got like very hot at once, and all the snow from the winter just goes down to the valley, and well, it's incredible for the mind to express these forces, to express these elements that's going down. For me, it's a matter for using well, noise music. And a way to well, change our way to perceive loud sounds. The scenarios, it's terrible, but it gives as well a frame to well, criticize this contemporary problem. It's as well a listening experience. It's a way to get linked to these problems. It's a way to document the bioacoustic, the change of living, and it has a dynamism intense in this matter. And there is a forces that is a sound experience, that is a music experience that goes very well through spatialization, and it gives the access to as well make a combination of spaces to think about imaginary landscape, and for example, I can show you my project Eye of the Storm, that is about the coast. Wow, yeah, okay. It's about the psychic, well, feeling about the storm, and with sounds and guitar, we're making something very scary, and something that where you drown yourself, and our performances were very wild, but as well we were in the middle of the storm, in the eye of the storms, where nobody can hear you because you're surrounded by extreme forces, and there is as well a silence. And this fear that I talked about before is fascinating us. Whoops. um, because there is incredible forces, and sounds have a potential of evoking imaginaries, and something that is expanding, that is bigger than reality, because you don't get inside a cyclone, I guess, to have a listening session, even if it looks interesting. Well, you can only imagine this, and imagine this with noise, and noise can be something that, well, after some times of resistance, well, you get calmer, you accept its forces. Um, you have something that is connecting in yourself, that is welcoming instead of resisting. And it's the same thing that I thought about this sound installation that I didn't do, but that I thought it was for financing it. It's how you can accept the sound of traffic. It's noise, it's horrible, but if you put another sound, um, like a drone sound, you put speakers in the city, you can transform this perception. And like the sound walking, you can transform anything to music. This is in Paris, in Jardin des Plantes. There is a big road, a big avenue through the Seine, and the other side is like a zoo, but you can hear so much the traffic from anywhere, and it looks weird to be among these incredible gardens and hear the sounds always here of traffic. So I suggested that we can change this thing to transform the sound environment, and that's what we can propose, we artists, to do. Like in front of here, I couldn't sleep this morning. I was in front of the road, and if there was a little music above it, a little synthesizer oscillation or something singing, or I don't know, that would be interesting. So that's the end, and well, I've mixed the link with interaction between visual and music, and the way to think improvisation music in the instant with energies and movements. And we didn't saw my installation for field recording and synthesizer and 6 speakers that I did in the Conservatory of Pantin. Okay, I'm free for any questions.
Sorry, but we don't have time for questions. Thank you very much, Duncan. Thanks.
Gracias.
You can ask Duncan anything you want later, because we are a little bit delayed. We are going to have a break, 20 minutes break, and we are going to start 12:37 in that sense, in that case, with Kutsi and